Hey guys, it's David, and this is another episode of Right Politics, October 13th. I wanted to get into this one with, of course, the news of day 7 for the war in Israel. There's a couple things I wanted to really dive into today and highlight. One of them is the possibility for a regional war to erupt out of this. So, as you know, that Hamas is a terrorist organization. It is an Islamic terrorist organization. And the whole thing about the Palestinians versus the Israelis is something that's deeply rooted in biblical tradition of Abraham having two sons. The firstborn was supposed to be the inheritance of the Holy Land, and it went to the second son, which was God's chosen. And since then, the Israelis came from Isaac, and then the Palestinians and the Nation of Islam came from the other. So they're always going to be biblically fighting against each other. But from a political point of view, this is happening in real time, real flesh and blood. We are living in modern times, so there are modern cameras, modern technology. Someone can pull out a phone and record potentially a smaller version of the Holocaust instantly and stream it all over the world. And that is exactly what we're seeing today, with very graphic images of children and women and men being killed at the hands of these terrorists. And even though the images are blurred, they're still so disturbing that many viewers cannot continue to watch. And they are intentionally released on news outlets to show the horrific events that are taking place by the Hamas terrorist organization, which there are also tons and tons of ISIS memorabilia being brought in from those sites that were recovered by the Israeli army. But the regional conflict that could potentially take place by taking advantage of these two nations that are at war, the Palestinians and the Israelis. Yes, the Islamic nations that are surrounding Israel could easily take advantage of Israel's, vulnerability. So the United States sent the Gerald F. Ford and the Ronald Reagan to the region to show strength of force, which really confirms what Trump said all along, that it is a show of force, a mighty show of force, that deters violence and deters future wars and future violence. With the United States backing the Israelis, most superpowers and yes, even some terrorist organizations and jihadists will think twice before attacking Israel while they are at a vulnerable state. And as the ground operation and ground war could start at any moment, we always have to be very vigilant that the Israeli people are always going to be in God's hands, and the Americans will always back Israel fully through all the conflict. But from a military point of view, another thing that I wanted to highlight in this episode is the Israelis' aerial defense mechanism called the Iron Dome, and how it intercepted 95% of the missiles targeting Israel from Hamas. Now, the United States former President Donald Trump has basically issued this promise, this defense strategy to put an Iron Dome around America. This is, of course, to prevent a nuclear attack on America, so that if in the event that nuclear weapons were ever to be used against America, they will be intercepted very quickly by our own version of the Iron Dome. So please let me know what you think about this in the comments. Be sure to like and share and subscribe, and we'll see you on another episode of Right Politics.